Welcome, align and shine. Ah, as I exhale out, I invite you to follow along and let the human let go on the exhale and relax. Because right now, my human ego is having a little bit of an inner tantrum, a little bit peed off that the external world is not reflecting what she thinks she wants, which is more acknowledgement, more recognition, less silence. Ah, as a measuring stick, as proof of validation and proof that what I'm doing here is actually freaking working. So I'm looking for you. I'm being a needy. And I say this with compassion to my own heart and as a reflective mirror for yours. I'm just bringing that part of myself into central focus to bring the light of consciousness on it because you know what? This is all about authenticity. And authenticity is about having the courage to be transparent. And having the courage to be transparent is about expressing what is feeling a little bit tender or shameful or the tendency has been to avoid just to not feel uncomfortable. So I'm bringing this tender part of the ego dynamic, really, the little me self that is pissed off, to be quite frank, at not having her way. And her way is having experiences of in the past of getting a lot more feedback and a lot more comments and a lot more likes. And I know that that's exactly why this is a soul initiation, because my soul is like, will you show up regardless? Will you show up and let me show you how attached you are to the external world and how how disempowering that truly is? Because then it dictates how we feel, right? So it's like, oh, you did this to me. So, the ego is like, because it perceives itself in separation, it's like, well, because of this, it's making me feel this way. No, I'm making me feel this way. So I'm the only one who can take myself under my wing and recognize the deeper truth and be open to receive it. So I want to share with you, friend, one person watching this is more than enough. And if that is my husband, Steve, thank you. I love you. Thank you for supporting me and being such an amazing, divine, masculine presence to support the feminine energy, the divine feminine in me to feel held and positively contained through the divine masculine presence, so that I can, just anchor this deep divine feminine wisdom and through grace and through flow and through anchoring in the body. So friend, I reflect this back to you. Where in your life are you feeling victimized? Where in your life are you getting peeved off because the world isn't jumping, the external world, the external mirror isn't jumping to how you want it to go, and you're getting pissed off about it, and you're pointing the finger and you're complaining, and it might be small ways, big ways. It could be, from the main stage, political, blah, blah, blah. It could be pissed off at a friend or a family member, or, holding on to something that you're not letting go of. You're attached, you're gripping, and you're using it as your excuse to not feel relaxed, not feel loved, not feel worthy, not feel okay. I could hear my own story earlier of, the wounded part, if you like, or that ego story of, what am I doing wrong? Am I doing something wrong? The human part, am I doing something wrong? No, you're not doing anything wrong. I'm not doing anything wrong. Life, our hearts, our souls, source, life is saying, humanity, listen, listen, let go of the limitations, let go of the perception, looking through life through the distortions of a lens of separation, through the beliefs of separation. Put it down now, kids. Put it down. Stop fighting. Stop fighting with reality. Stop fighting with each other. Stop fighting with yourself. Soften. Just like my heart and soul and higher self and oversoul and source is saying the exact same thing to me. It's like, Mary Jo, can you just soften and trust? Just keep showing up. Keep showing up in congruency. Show up for yourself, regardless of who else shows up. Show up to 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 meet yourself in your expression, not for outer applause. If this serves somebody, yay, that is amazing. But first and foremost, I'm here to serve my own heart. I'm here to follow the guidance, to anchor this more deeper, authentic, resonant frequency through my body, through my voice, through this channel, and to release the pushback in me, the resistance, so that it can actually flow more freely rather than get trapped by the ego mind identity, freaking out because somebody said this, or I didn't get what I want, I didn't get lots of likes or comments or whatever. I know I will. I'm going through a soul initiation. I'm grounding and anchoring this frequency. I'm purposely being here to be a mirror for whoever this touches. I know I am. I'm a living example. I'm here to be a living example. I'm not here just to spit out words and to give you concepts. I'm here to be a reflective mirror for you, a sacred mirror of compassion for our humanity, for the parts of us that do feel deeply sensitive and tender and wounded and separate and not good enough and unworthy or too much, to be a voice for those aspects so that they can be seen in the light of truth. They can be welcomed home into our humanity, into our hearts, so that we're not just trying to micromanage our reality so that these aspects of us are not feeling their discomfort, which doesn't work anyways because it's all still perpetuating. So much of the toxicity in the world, so much of the distortion in the world is the ego trying to micromanage and manipulate reality, manipulate others to get its needs met, self-preservation. Now, from a survival consciousness, from a very animalistic survival consciousness, that's okay. That's part of it. So none of this is about making any of that wrong. It's just shining light that this is what we're elevating out of now. This is what we're awakening up out of as a higher consciousness is coming in, as more expansive consciousness bandwidth is being amplified within us, is coming online, and our bodies is catching up. So our nervous system is rewiring. Me showing up every day is rewiring my neural pathways and my nervous system and my energy field to say yes to this new timeline of aligned resonance, of align and shine, of 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 creating safety around visibility, of allowing visibility to the parts of myself that I have held conflict around. Yes and no. Push. Yes, I'll share some and then I'll pull back. And then so, am I safe? Am I safe? So by showing up here every day, I'm building a momentum, you could say, of not self-abandoning and not backing out, which I mean by backing out is like to repress, suppress, deny, avoid, numb out. And it's all tempting. It is all tempting for my personality, and yet deep down, I know it doesn't work. I know it doesn't work because deep down, deeply, I feel I actually do feel more empowered, and I feel more proud. I feel proud of myself to honor my heart and my soul and source, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, nature, and to really heal that inner trust with myself and my own soul, with my soul and my voice and my body, so that they can be more congruent in how I express myself, unedited, unscripted. Like before I jumped on here, I was like, I have no freaking idea what I'm going to say. And my human self again was a bit annoyed about that, because it's like, okay, and this is what I'm getting used to, because that's really what's being asked of me. Just show up in the moment, trust, show up, and trust that whatever comes out is whatever comes out. It'll land where it'll land, it'll resonate where it'll resonate, or it won't. You don't, like, I'm talking to myself, but I'm also talking to you. You don't need to take any of it personally. You don't need to make up a story about what that means about you or what it doesn't mean about you. All these freaking stories of the mind, of the ego, of the separate self, all the emotional stories. They're stories, and those stories want to dissolve, want to dissipate that energy, so that we're not looping in old patterns. I had an experience the other day with somebody, a family member, and oh, that's interesting, my throat. You may watch this someday. And there was a dynamic that happened in our messaging, and we've had a bit of a challenging relationship. And I just sent a message just asking, was there any particular reason why she hadn't responded to my message from previously, and knowing that she might be busy or whatever. But there was also still a little bit of me going, that old story of like, did I, in the last thing that I recorded and sent her, did I say something wrong? Did she take it as an insult? Was it too much? These are all the old stories. These are old Mary Jo stories. And I feel the emotion. So I hold that part of me sacred. And I invite you to hold those parts of you sacred as well. But they're not in the driver's seat. They're not in the driver's seat. And when she responded and a little bit reactive, and then explained a little bit more and apologized, and I shared then that, oh yeah, I get that you're busy, but yeah, there's a little bit of me just wondering if maybe anything I said had kind of triggered you or anything like that. And she got back with a message I truly honor. It was pretty abrupt in the voice. It was the day I was actually taking down the invisibility shield, so my heart felt very tender, and there was quite a lot of grief and sadness and tears, and my nervous system was quite raw, and the tone of the voice was quite. It felt to my nervous system quite harsh. However, she did spin off a truth that has stayed with me, and I'm going to relay here. She said, stop making it about you, Mary Jo. It's not about you. Isn't it time, or something like that? I'm paraphrasing, but like, that's an old story. Isn't it time you're done with that? Haven't you done enough inner work? And yeah, that was a little, I did take a little hit, and there was this deep sadness in the moment, because I felt not held in that deep vulnerability and rawness, just the way it was in that moment. However, I took a bit of time, and it took me a day or two to just be with it, and just to support myself in the way my nervous system needed, to take myself under my wing, take responsibility for my energy, take responsibility for the parts of self that felt the grief, the sadness, to be the safe space within my own energy, within my own body, to give presence to the parts of self that were afraid, that were feeling unsafe, to be exposed in their deepest, raw, vulnerable sensitivity. And there was another part of me that was in complete agreement, going, yeah, it's time. It's time, Mary Jo. It's time to put down that old story. It's time to heal that part. It's time to let that go. It's time to trust. Trust. Trust the voice. Trust the deeper. Trust what is moving deeper within me. That's not about me as a separate self, as an ego personality. To me, that's what I take from it. It's not about me as in we're all connected to source consciousness. We're all connected. If you want to use God, use God. Whatever it is for you, spirit, nature. We are part of life. I am not separate, and caught up in the small me storylines and wasting energy on that. Why? Because I'm not, I wasn't attentive enough, perhaps, or trusting myself. So awakening into remembering it is radical self-responsibility. It's taking radical self-responsibility for our energy with compassion, with discernment, to be patient as well, because part of my response to her was also, can we bring ourselves more gentleness, more kindness, more patience? Can we just be a little bit more gentle with these old wounds that are coming back up to the surface, and just have compassion for those experiences from where they were birthed? And yes, it's time to let them go. It's time to put them down. It's time to rewire and tell a new story that I am trust. And I allow this channel to be in its creative expression, creative flow, and liberated expression. And I don't get to control. Who sees it or who doesn't, or who responds or who doesn't. I don't get to control you. I get to take responsibility for me. And I get to make the choice to show up again and again for the voice of my heart, the voice of my inner alignment, to shine, not in big, bold ways to get attention, but in this resonance, in the frequency, in the resonance, in the feeling behind my words, in what resonates. And I get to trust. I get to trust. I get to choose that I am trust. I get to trust this now. And I get to up-level my self-identity as a sovereign presence. And that means unhooking where previously I'd hooked my sense of self-worth. I talked about the empath yesterday, the people pleaser, and looking for a sense of self externally. So empaths, dear empaths, come in, know thyself, get really good with your internal self, love yourself, like yourself, give yourself everything that you so desperately try to give everyone else. Heal yourself, care for your body. As much as I know, as much as I've done, as far as I've come, I still have challenge to really show up and give my body, give my human what it needs. I'm still anchoring more unconditional love, really, unconditional listening for my body to give it what it needs. And today I showed that I got to see that play out again. And one of the ways that plays out is I know that if I don't get on my yoga mat or dance or move in the morning, I'm going to feel agitated because I'm the heady energy will kind of take over a little bit, which can drop me then into more of the ego and more of the poor me, or feeling a bit agitated, and then the thoughts get a bit agitated, and then it's like, you know a bit negative or a bit lacking, going into lack and scarcity, and then I come back. This today it was like 3 o'clock or something. I was like, I've got to get myself on the yoga mat. I knew what I needed to do for my body. And just 20 minutes later, half an hour, I feel like a new person. Just so much more grounded and present in my body. My back, the muscles, the fascia has more of my has more oxygen, has more life force energy, and that just allows a greater depth of all is well, harmony. So take care of you. Take care of you. Truly take care of you. Take care of your body. Take care of your emotions. Journal. Do whatever you need. Use your phone voice app. Record your own voice. If you don't want to jump on camera like I'm doing, share your messages every day. Just do it for yourself on your phone, video, voice memo, whatever it is. Receive yourself. Receive yourself. When I offer the quantum healing hypnosis sessions to clients, and I have done for over a decade, but one of the biggest challenges for people on receiving the recording is listening to their own voice. So very specifically, and it's a really good thing to do anyways, is I invite people to listen as they go to sleep, so that the beta brainwave or the ego mind doesn't negate and get caught in the head judging their own voice. Because when we're judging, we're not receiving. When we're judging, we're not relaxed. When we're judging, we're in the perception of separation. And that is the opposite to harmony. When we take the good deep breath, that's a choice to take a step towards harmony, harmonization, rather our coherence, rather than dissonance. So what step can you take right now that is a step that's moving towards yourself, towards your heart, towards your soul, towards embodied well-being, towards caring, kindness, towards yourself? What do you need? What do you need? And even if you haven't been good at caring for yourself and given what you truly need, maybe you numb out instead, or there's some addiction there, or there's some avoidance, or whatever it might be, which also can be working hard and exercise, or it can be alcohol, or there's so many ways. We have to discern for ourselves. It's the why we do things. It's not what we do, it's why we do them. The thing isn't the issue, it's the intention behind it, why we do it. Is it to avoid, or is it to truly be present with, to support us being more present, and to expand our creative expression, expand our joy, expand our connection with ourselves, with the earth, with others? Or is it to numb? Okay. I'm going to leave it there. Hmm. Allow yourself to be with yourself, to be with your breath, and to be with whatever is arising. And just to breathe in, open up a little bit of spaciousness, And then ask, okay, what now? What's the next step? If you're feeling stuck, and then just one step, one breath. The next step, another breath. The next step, a walk outside. The next step, write something, paint something, speak something. And so it is. And so it is. So in this video is about embracing the silence as my mirror, as my teacher, to deepen sovereignty, to deepen inner alignment and sovereignty and inner trust, to show up for something deeper, regardless of appearances, regardless of appearances. And this muscle that I'm deepening within myself, strengthening, is also a very discerning muscle. Because let's face it, there's a lot to pull our attention in the world. There's a lot saying, feel this, think that, da 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 da, this will fix you, blah, blah, blah. So when we have our own back, when we know thyself, when we be thyself true, when we trust that inner self, that inner connection, then we can pick and choose in the outer world. But we're less available to being manipulated, to being persuaded, to being hooked in. Yes, it's well understood, the psychology of humanity. It's well understood to get us to buy things, to get us to move in a certain direction. Because it's understood how to play on our emotions, how to play on our egos, how to play on our lack, limitation, and scarcity, to play on our lack of trust, our self-doubt. So what if that wasn't available anymore? Then what? Then what do we create? Because, the companies and the businesses and, whoever does that, does it because it works. So when it doesn't work anymore, when we as a humanity is not available to it anymore, we're only available to deep resonance. We're only available to what feels really authentic, really aligned, that it rings true, because we've got a connection with ourself, our solar plexus, our heart, our gut. We're listening. We're heeding. We're honoring. We're trusting. We're moving from this inner compass. Our yes and our no. We're honoring our yes and our no. We're naturally creating an energy field that is imbued with healthy, energetic self-esteem and healthy energy boundaries. So that's part of the New Earth vision in my heart. That's part of the bigger vision I can feel as I speak that, of my soul that's saying, you see, this is why you're showing up every day, to strengthen that muscle, so that you can't be manipulated. We can't be persuaded against the heart, against the universe, against source, against who we truly are. Because we don't trust ourselves, we don't love ourselves, we don't care for ourselves. So we're looking for the outer world. Needy, we need, so we're trying to get. Help me feel safe, help me feel secure, help me feel beautiful, help me feel appreciated, help me feel loved, help me feel enough. You're getting it, friends. You're getting it. You're getting it. You're getting it. If you're still here with me, you're getting it. This resonates for you. You're getting it. We're in it. It's happening. And so it is. Congratulations. You're getting it. So just hold on to that. You're getting it. Whatever you're getting it. You wouldn't be here otherwise. I absolutely know that. Namaste.